No, I gotta deal with you two tonight. And what's with this? Take that stuff off. I'm dealing with this Steeler crowd here. Come on, man. Ganging up on people. I quit. I can't work with this.
Hey,
Starting it off with a laugh tonight.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Reality Football with Keith and Coop. I happen to be Keith.
I'm Coop.
You salty. That's what
much
you are.
as I'm still Coop.
He's a salty dog. That's what he is. Hey, we got a great show for you today because J-E-T-S, Jets.
It was a rough weekend for football.
Yeah, you Gators,
Gators, Cowboys. You just want to jump right into it, huh?
Why not?
You don't want to announce where we are? Tell the people where we are.
Oh, no. You trying to divert. This dude is upset.
Mm-hmm.
His Florida Gators got mollywopped down in the swamp. And then them Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Oh, I'm going to be in trouble.
So anyways, welcome to Reality Football.
And we are in Uniontown, believe it or not. We get around.
We do.
We get around. We were in Cuyahoga Falls last week. We're in Uniontown. And we have an awesome guest today. Someone who knows me longer than you have.
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Hi, Mom.
No, it's not. It's not Mom. He has been a friend, a brother, a mentor, just an amazing individual. And he is a diehard in the Wolves Steelers fan. He was actually born in the great state of Pennsylvania. His name is Pastor Jeffrey Bell. He's I guess you could say, colleague as far as pastoring is concerned.
Sure.
But he's just one of those special people in my life, and I'm excited to have you on the show. You ready to bring him on?
Let's do it.
All right. Pastor Jeffrey Bell, come on in.
Oh, Lord.
He stands up. I don't stand up for
Lord.
nobody. Look at him. Great.
See what I have to deal with
I
here?
finally made the big lights.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
I made your point. You had to get up for nobody until we had the ladies on. So,
We just have to help him back up. That's all.
Well, you might have to help me back
I
up.
might. Look at this. I am.
wait a minute. How come you're not wearing your Cowboys gear today?
I told you it was a rough weekend for football, so we're just gonna start looking at some hockey games for.
You gonna sell them out like that? That's rough, man.
You know what? No, all right. Just for your sake, I did little. Since I'm sitting here between two pastors,
Oh, stop.
I can.
Oh,
I do have
Tebow
me a
shirt?
Tebow jersey.
Ian,
If
that's
that-
for you.
Will that make you
That's for
feel
you,
better?
Ian. Yeah, hey, that's my dude, man.
We'll save that for another weekend.
I'm all about
Tebow.
Tebow. That's cool. Well, anyway, man, it's so awesome to finally get you on here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
We've
It's
been
great.
talking about it
Great.
for weeks now. Beautiful home. This is just utterly
Yeah,
amazing.
you have to be here. This is your house.
I need you to show me where my room is. And I said you were born in PA, right?
I was born in Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, I was born in a town called Midland, Pennsylvania, which is right about 3 miles, I would say, east of East Liverpool.
I know all too well, obviously.
Absolutely. So I grew up there. Great football county.
Oh man.
We had some great times there. I used to play years ago,
Yeah.
and so it's inbred it.
All right, and I love talking with you beginning of the season about the new players that's coming in because sometimes you know these guys from when they were kids
Yeah,
and you grew
absolutely.
up with them. That's kind of great to have an insight like that.
Absolutely.
And you and I have known each other. Whew.
A long time. I babysit you.
Okay, you didn't have to
And
go there.
Pam. I'm giving Pam a shout out.
Pam told me to tell you if you don't, you a smart
She
man.
texted me,
Oh,
and she made sure that I put it in my memory bank
That's my
need to be-
sister. Okay.
to a shout out.
That's
for
right.
her.
You
So,
and
shout
your
out.
lovely wife, Veronica.
My lovely
babysat
wife,
us.
she would have been on today, but as you know, she has a little bit of laryngitis right now, so she can't really talk. So
Okay.
I'm at a great advantage now because she has to listen to me.
You'll be
Moving
surprised, right? Get a dry erase board and she'll either
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're not gonna
real
win.
quick, we run out of time, but you are pastor at the Holy Church of Christ.
I am.
We grew up in the same church.
Same church. Absolutely.
And just an awesome place. I know all too well. I'm at home when we come there,
Yes.
and vice versa. And we'll
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit more too.
Okay.
All right, Coop, take it away, buddy.
Oh my goodness! All right, so why don't we give you a quick rundown of what this hot five that we're about to get into is?
Okay.
Okay. For those of you who are new to reality football, every week I throw a hot five pick together with 5 games over the course of the weekend or the week if we throw the Thursday game in, and these are games that have some sort of significance. Might have significance to the actual show that we're doing because of the banter that we have,
Right.
or it might just be NFL significance.
Right.
So-
or something crazy happened, and we just got to
Or
talk about
yeah,
it.
there's just something that's just so outlandish that we just at this point, we can't gloss over. So without further ado, let me just jump in here and throw this first game: Steelers Chargers. All right,
Boom, 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 boom.
both teams are now a whopping 2-4.
Get closer to it.
Yeah,
See?
2 and 4.
Right, look at this. This is,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's throw the peace sign too.
yeah, let's keep it peaceful in here.
Hey, listen, Steeler Nation, we needed this, Coop.
Where's my
Bad,
towel?
bad.
From start to finish.
Yes.
It was ridiculous.
Yes.
And we had like an amazing show on defense. Devin Bush, the rookie, just killing it, leading the league in takeaways. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah.
Absolutely, great candidate for Rookie of the Year. And our offense showed up.
Offensive line showed up.
Third string quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, Hodges,
Right.
how about it, man? I think Hodges had something like,
You have
15 out of 20, a touchdown.
130 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for more than that. There was an ill-advised throw later in the game.
Yeah,
It was a
sure.
pick, but it was great, man.
Yeah, I think too. I think the best thing about the Steelers right now is their defense. And historically, if you look at Pittsburgh as a whole, the defense really dictates how well they're going to
Absolutely.
do. That's why you hear in the years gone by, the big steel curtain and all that. You never really hear. You hear little bits and pieces about the offense.
You had that beaded curtain there for a little while.
We're really not talking. Kind of like a two-way
So we're
conversation.
back to the steel curtain days. Is that what you're saying?
I'm going back to the steel curtain days. Yeah,
Okay.
and I think if you notice, the last 3 years we struggled because our defense was not in good standing as far as what the Steelers standard is for.
Oh, not at all. Particularly in our secondary the last few years.
Secondary was getting burned up like toast. Everybody was
Yeah.
buttering them up.
Artie Burns, great last name. He get burnt every play.
Yeah, and then so we had an offense that was fantastic with the 3 Bs, and then that broke up. But the problem that we've had the last 3 years is the offense has been tremendous and defense has been struggling. So we couldn't really keep anybody else from scoring. So we
Right.
had to go into a game to try to outscore everybody.
and that's too much to
It's
ask
too much to
to
ask.
sustain throughout the
Absolutely.
play. Yeah,
Imagine
Absolutely.
having to do that with a third string quarterback too.
Absolutely.
We're doing it now. I mean,
Right.
with the third string quarterback. And I
But to
think-
get into a gun battle like that, where it's
Yeah,
just a
shootout,
complete
like,
showdown.
right.
no, you don't
No.
want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
Not on that.
And let me ask you real quick. A lot of the Steelers Facebook pages I belong to, there's always this big argument about whether to keep Tomlin, get rid of Tomlin.
Yeah.
People highly upset if anybody mentions it. What is your take on that?
First of all, you look at Mike Tomlin's top 5 coach. He's lead. He has more wins. I think he's in the top 5 in wins. I think this year you're going to find out really what Tomlin's made out
That's
of.
what we're
Because what happens is without having Ben Roethlisberger, not having AB, not having Bell, and then you have a group of younger team players. Now the coaching has to be very.
coach, right.
It has to be on point because he has to coach them up to the level that they're playing.
I totally agree. We're going to find out. I'm not upset with anybody who wants Tomlin to be gone. I can see where they're coming from. I just think personally we've underachieved the players we've had in the last few years, but we're going to see what he's all about.
And let me just make this last point about Tomlin. One thing too that people I think get a misunderstanding about. In past history, Tomlin never was part of the locker room. Even when Bill Cowher was there, they didn't run that locker room. The players ran the locker room. You had personalities in there that demanded results.
And we've lost those
we
dominant
lost
players.
those
Yeah.
players.
There's no
like
more
Heinz
Farrier,
Ward,
them-
and
them kind of dogs.
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's kind of where
Great
it
point.
kind of
We got a lot of kids in there.
got a lot of kids
All
now.
right.
Now, like you said, it's good that he's actually coaching these kids.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's
All
what
right.
you need. Yeah.
Well, let's move on. Hey, number 2, and Coop made a point to let me know he threw this in because he said if he didn't, I was gonna bring it up anyway.
Yeah,
How
I can't
about
get
them
away from it.
Cowboys?
All right,
Cowboys.
on a positive note here, all right, there is a takeaway from this.
Yeah, they got
Dak's
to take it away, all right?
277 yards and no interceptions.
That is not a takeaway, man. Stop.
Hey, come on.
You are gasping for straws. Cowboys fall 22-24 to the Jets. More importantly, 3rd loss in a row.
Yeah, that's what.
And
That's
it's,
what
it's
really
looking
hurts.
anemic. Now, we know Lyle Collins and their other linemen, Dallas has thrived in our offensive line. Of
course.
So I know that was a big part of it. But, the Jets, there's no excuse for this loss, man.
Not at all. Not at all. And
What
it was just
happened?
too little, too late. They mounted the comeback, but what are you gonna do? The Jets.
think
The
there should've
Jets
been
still
interference
suck.
call at the end, but-
Well, we'll get into these calls, but the Jets still suck. Dallas just sucks too. So
Well, let me just say this. I think what the Jets had that they didn't have, and I think that played the biggest part of the win, was Sammy D.
Yeah.
When
Better believe it.
he came back, it created a confidence in the offensive
well, they have a
team.
leader.
Yeah, and then even Bell played better because all the pressure's not on him.
Yeah, but imagine a Cowboys team with Elliott running for 125 yards. You would think that was a win every time.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked, but they got to get it together. And, hey, he's still standing by his coach.
Well, you get one other thing too. You got to realize too, the wide receiver got hurt,
Yeah, big deal.
so that made a big difference.
All right, Coop, what's next?
All right, Texans Chiefs.
Oh, big one.
Okay, now this is a big one. I
And
told
we know
you
we're big on
last
Mahomes
week.
boy.
I am. Mahomes, and I want to throw this out there. Just this is completely off, off script. I love my homeboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you got a better pro football nickname, please, by all means,
Nobody does.
send it to the show.
It's the best one ever.
What's the best NFL nickname of current day? Send it. But I digress. All right, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I said this last week.
Can I give you your props?
Please,
You called
I'll
it.
take whatever I
We
can
talked-
get
we
today.
talked about- we got to give you somebody. But we talked about like the top teams in the AFC, and we mentioned everybody but the Texans, and Coop called it. This is definitely the team to beat in the AFC, and with Sean Watson, they're going to prove it. Great statement yesterday towards that.
Yeah, and I really think that because they brought the protection in for him, that he's just going to go wild.
That's
But
the key.
and the other thing, and I told you this earlier, remember the name Carlos Hyde?
Carlos Hyde,
Right.
We all know Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde.
Not
Well,
me.
that's and Duke Johnson
Yeah.
are going to be household names in the next few weeks. That's
Former Browns running back.
well. So also, you want to make sure you remember the names Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson.
How can we forget Buckeyes? Well, one of them, former Browns running back.
But yeah, Ohio, right?
Right.
But regardless, these names, we know, hopefully we know, but everybody should know them in a couple of weeks, right? I mean, this is a team that is on the way up.
Sure.
And like I called it last week,
You called
I told
it?
him, I said,
All
this
due credit.
is my, and this blew him away because he's on the Patriots bandwagon with this, but I think this is the AFC champion.
Right, and
team
what
right
better statement
Wow.
to make towards what you said than going into the house of the current AFC champs? Well, actually, no, they didn't. They
No,
were in the
no,
divisional
but
playoffs,
they-
but yeah.
But still, everybody thought that the road was going to have to go through Kansas City
Sure.
and or depending on what you got in the draw for
Right.
the playoffs. And now people are rethinking that.
Hey, great game. Okay, hey, Seahawks Browns. Got to talk about the local team. Browns dropped another heartbreaker. Questionable calls.
Yeah.
Questionable coaching.
What
You
made
know?
Cleveland fans think they're going to win this? Seriously, I mean, a 4-1 team.
But they could. They could have.
Yeah.
There were some bogus calls, but
Yeah, it's bad. Bad.
this game was won with a veteran quarterback playing like a veteran quarterback.
I'm sorry. They were outcoached. Freddie Kitchens was outcoached in that game, and I just don't think he's up for the job, especially with all the diverse personalities and talents that he has on the team. What do you think?
I think he's part of it. I think they were just up against Russell Wilson.
Well, yeah,
Russell
Right,
Wilson
right.
is he's
Absolutely
a
agree.
surgeon on the field because what he does, in times of key moments in the game, he knows what to do, when to do. And listen, he don't really have a star-studded cast of receivers to work with.
Yeah, and we got to remember too. You and I were talking before the show. Man, when Greg Williams had that team, they had kind of an edge.
Yeah.
And they're kind of missing that right now.
Yeah, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
anyway. Coop, last one you wanna?
Yeah, and at some point we want to come back to this Brown Seahawks if we have time
Sure,
to do
absolutely.
this. But
Sure.
let's move on. The other game that I threw on there was Panthers and Bucks.
We don't know why, but
It's London again. I mean, all right. So the real reason I threw this on here was not because Kyle Allen's now 4-0, right?
we're gonna talk about that a little bit
Sealed
later.
his position here, so my opinion, I guess. But the real thing with this one that kind of blew me away was this fair catch free kick thing. All right, I've been a NFL fan since I'm 4 years old. I have never in my life seen this kind of thing. He will not let me say shenanigans on the show, but I have never seen
Shenanigans
these
on the
kind
show?
of shenanigans.
I do not have a problem with shenanigans.
Yeah. But
Tomfoolery.
if you watch this, and a lot of people didn't watch this one because it's 12-hour time difference
Yeah.
or whatever, and
Yeah.
people were still celebrating Saturday night. But for those of us that got up and watched this, when you see a punt out of the end zone, fair caught at the 50-yard line,
Never seen anything like this.
they actually catch this ball, and people are in chaos. They're trying to figure out what is going on, including the announcers. They're going back through, and you could hear them on the field, the announcers on the field, talking to the fans, explaining American football to these people.
it's
And
unbelievable.
I'm hearing like hundreds of thousands of people that got up Sunday
even know
morning
what's going on,
screaming,
right.
saying, explain it to
Explain
us.
it to us. We're Americans. We don't even know.
But
Yeah.
the ruling on this one, just so everybody is clear, is if you fair catch a punt, you can actually, at this point, declare a free kick, and you can kick this ball, right? You do not have a rush coming at you. You snap the ball, you kick the ball, and if it goes through the uprights, that's 3 points.
Craziest thing
Really?
ever. Crazy.
So
All right.
let it be known.
We gotta.
You're
going to
see more of
information.
this one now
Yeah,
that
that's
the
crazy.
cat's out of the bag.
All right, let's move
Challenge
on.
flag didn't go out on that one.
I don't know. All right, we're gonna move on to our next section, which is reality bites, and this is the segment where someone or someone's woke up this morning with a different kind of reality that they did on Sunday going into the game. And Coop, go ahead and take number one.
All right, here we go. Reality bites. Number one,
Let it go.
Cam Newton hasn't done anything wrong.
Disagree with you there, but go ahead.
Well, he was injured.
Right.
He may end up traded regardless. I can see him. All right, I'm going to throw this at you now. I want to see your reaction. I can see him in a Dolphin uniform.
All right, but hold on. Before you go there, I gave you your props. I want my props. I called it weeks ago. I think it was in Dude You're Tripping. And I said this was Cam Newton's last year in a Carolina uniform. So now
You
you're
might
in the
have
bag
said
with me.
in the NFL.
No,
you
I
might
didn't
have taken
say
it that much
no,
further.
No. Watch the tape.
We're going to go back and look at that one.
What do you think about that, Pastor Dow?
Well, I'm just gonna say this
Kyle
quickly.
is 4-0.
I'm gonna use since they were in London. I'm gonna use an old song that we used to sing in grade school. London Bridges is falling.
Walden?
I think Cam Newton's on a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I think that because KA's playing so well that what are you gonna do? I mean, with
Can't
the
argue
money,
with winning.
yeah, and the money that Cam's gonna kind of require is gonna be
Right.
way above what they want to pay.
And I'm glad the way you put that requires what the market is going to
Yeah,
dictate.
exactly.
It's-
Well, his contract
Trying
is
to
up
move
this year, and I have a feeling, and the reason I said Dolphins uniform is because Miami's got a lot of first-round picks that they can wheel and deal with, and they might be in the market for a
why
marquee
not?
quarterback.
They got to do something.
So
Yeah, I can see
Hey,
that.
yeah,
Carolina
yeah.
to Miami, same weather, no problem.
You know,
I go ahead.
Miami's, you know, they're the fishes, and everything that's going down there is swimming out of Miami.
I love his analogy. I want to go back to the song you said here because when I was
London
growing
Bridges.
up, so that's Pennsylvania. It's London Bridges. I always thought that it was London's britches falling down.
Oh,
I grew up in Akron.
Number 2.
Thank you.
All right. Number 2 on Reality Bites.
Cam Newton's britches.
You have to forgive these people, excuse me. Is the Pittsburgh Steelers. My Pittsburgh Steelers are Pittsburgh Steelers. And the reason why I put them in this Reality Bite segment is because after having a great showing yesterday in LA, looked like a home game. Did you see that?
So many Steeler fans.
80%, I believe they said. Terrible towels everywhere. That's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
And, second place in the division, things looking great. We wake up with another key injury. I won't say the name. That'll be in our injury report later. But, man, we just can't buy a break, it seems like.
Yeah.
We had Washington out. We had Samuels out for 6 weeks.
Sure. You got a quarterback out.
Obviously, we have our first and second string quarterback is out.
Yep.
Connors was questionable, ankle injury, and then we lose another.
You got a running back. You got the running back. What's the running back?
Samuels.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So, their reality this morning is a little harsh, but they're going to keep fighting. Steelers, man, watch out.
Yeah, watch. I think you're going to see Pittsburgh do. And again, it goes back to what I stated earlier. It's the defense that you got to watch. And if the defense is on, it's going to make it difficult for the opposing teams to really get their offense going.
And we're still putting up points, too.
And we're still putting up points.
Yep, great.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, good. Let's move on, buddy. Favorite section?
All right, this is a section we like to call "Do You
You're
Trip?" So I'm going to read some emails that we got from you guys.
And if you would like to have your statement read on Do You're Tripping, all you got to do is look at that right down there. That is our web address, realityfootball1@gmail.com, right here. And just send us your statement. It could be about a player, about a team, about a coach, about whatever. If we agree with you, we'll say we agree with you. If we don't agree with you, I'll usually say, "Do You're Tripping." And we have a great audience that send in a lot of great statements. It could be about a coach, a player, team, doesn't matter. So, you want to start with the first one?
I do. Out of all the audience, and we've got a lot of viewers. I don't know if you've been watching this lately.
They're picking up.
Yeah.
But we keep getting this guy.
Who is this person?
All right,
And you don't know if it's a guy.
I'm assuming because it says from
Hey,
Pizza Guy
That guy that
16.
threw it away.
Yeah. It could be. I don't know.
Reading is fundamental.
It could be one of those millennials. He
That's
he
true.
identifies as a pizza guy.
Can we have some pizza?
So send food, not emails.
Okay.
So this guy is blocked from now on.
Why?
Because he says,
Oh, I love
"Tell
you.
Coop, I said, ha 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 ha.
Total agree.
His Cowboys suck."
Total agree. Well,
Dude, you tripping? Send pizza. Next.
No. Pizza Guy. Thank you, first of all. Just being a part of the show. We appreciate your emails. And I don't want to, I got to say, dude, you're tripping. I don't want to use that word. It's too much talent on that team. Jerry Jones spent way too much money in the offseason. He signed more contracts than what the team was worth when he first bought him. And the team doesn't suck. There's a fundamental problem going on. They are not clicking on all cylinders, and that's got to get figured out, whether it's Jason Garrett or what. But I can't use the word suck. Something else is going on with that team.
Sure. I think when you look at this type of problem, you got to look at the top. You got to look at the coach because it's the coach's job really to prepare the players to play with the philosophy, with the schemes, whatever. And I don't think Garrett is doing that. I really don't. I think that's where they're suffering.
Yeah, and before Coop chimes in, I got to tell you, man, Dak Prescott I just don't believe in him.
You know, week 1, we were singing his praises, talking about pay this guy. He is worth every penny. Now things have kind of shaken out a little differently. So
I wouldn't go that far,
but hey, you mentioned it. We've got talent. There is a plethora of talent that's there. You just need somebody to come in here, round this all up, and make something out of it.
Absolutely.
All right, we got 2 from Steel P. I happen to know that guy very well. He was our second guest.
He was
Second guest on the show.
Mount Union
my
night.
son out of Mount Union. And Steel, he has 2 of them. First of all, he says the 49ers will win the NFC. Not crazy.
Ooh.
I totally agree with you, but it's not far-fetched right now.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
it's a good chance.
That's a great one. Yeah. And his second one was that McCaffrey will be the non-quarterback MVP. Dude, you're tripping. I'm sorry, son. You were doing good for a minute.
They're gonna
It's a
have
quarterback thing.
They got to go through New Orleans one more time,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think
So
so.
I'm not gonna say you're tripping, but it's a long shot.
First of
it's
all,
a longer
it's,
shot
it's
than what it
always
looks like
a
right
quarterback's
now.
award. Then you have the attrition that running back acquires throughout a long season. And quarterbacks get hot. They're usually the heroes of the game going towards the playoffs. There's just no way a non-quarterback's going to win this award. I just don't see it happen.
Here's a factor that a lot of times we don't recognize is that the NFL's played in 2 seasons. You have the fall summer season, and then you have the winter season.
Right.
So what happens in the NFL is that during the first part of the year, the first 8 games, it's wide receiver driven, quarterback driven. Then when you get to the end, the last 8, it's more running back driven and defense. And that's the key that a lot of times you look at what's going on right now, you make your predictions.
Right.
It can be somewhat premature because you still
They're
have
always
those.
premature.
Yeah,
Sure.
you still have those games that's going to really tough it out, and those are the ones you got to really look
Yeah.
at. So those games aren't yet played yet.
We were
So-
talking about this earlier, and you got these teams with that wide open offense. You know, you got your Kansas City and somebody that can sling it. But when you get into those cold weather games in the middle
Owner of the ball
of
game.
December,
Absolutely.
Owner of the ball
and
game.
now it's a matter of trenches.
Yes.
So we'll
Yes.
see how that goes.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Terry T. Terry T says the refs only enforce the rules they want.
Terry T, I know who Terry T is. Great musician in the southern area. And I tell you, Terry, it seems like it. Pastor Jeff, you made a great comment earlier about it's a culture.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. And I'll let you elaborate more on it, but I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with him too, because I think what's happening here, especially with these defensive calls, you can clearly see, if you're not Ray Charles, you can clearly see on television
Right.
that this guy's being, he's been beat up before the ball even gets there. But instead of them going with what they see, they go with the original call, and that's only covering themselves. So that's a culture because, and the culture has to change. Sometime I think in some point, the NFL's going to have to get involved and change
I'm
that.
going to come back around to this when we do our closing
Okay, fine.
statements here.
And I see this thing too, where they know they made a mistake, and then they do a makeup call afterwards to try to fix it. But okay, all right. Thank you, Terry T.
So this next one coming up here, you mentioned it when you announced what the section was, and you told these people send in comments about the players, about the referees, the coaches. You didn't actually talk about the host, but
I quit.
Akron Baller said
If the Akron dead person. Go ahead.
if the camera adds 10 pounds, there must be 5 cameras on Keith.
Oh my God!
Zoom in on this.
First of all, Akron Baller, we are tracing your internet ID.
Unnecessary zoom.
We'll have your address by tomorrow. And I'm going to say, I agree with you. Because we have a camera here, we have a camera here, and we have a camera there. And the camera there happens to be the new iPhone 11. We're not, not a sponsor. But it's got 3 lenses on it. So that's 30 pounds by itself, 40, 50. So I'm actually 50 pounds lighter than I look right now.
That must make me 50 pounds to begin with.
Well, I think we can find out who did this.
Dude,
I got an indication that this Akron Baller
I know who
is
did
a
it.
teacher
I think it's his mom.
because it sounds like a math equation.
I think Akron Baller is somebody that don't like living on earth very
Keep
long.
those emails
That's
coming.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for your viewer mail.
All right, last one's for you.
Okay, all right. Hey, this one comes from Andrew Murdy. Okay, and Andrew says the Steelers will make the playoffs.
Dude,
you tripping.
you tripping.
And I'm going to tell you why. Obviously, we are not going to catch the dreaded New England Patriots. You know Kansas City's going to be there. The emergence of the Texans is something to consider. Also, don't forget the Colts. The Colts are going to be a team to reckon with. So there's not even going to be a wild card spot for us. In our division alone, we'd have to catch the Ravens, which is not far-fetched.
You're 2-4.
Hey, 2 games out of first place, so whatever. We could theoretically,
Bring that
catch
math
up in the
teacher
division.
back.
Bring that math teacher back. But I'm going to say, dude, you're tripping. It's just too much going on right now for us, especially with our quarterback situation, to actually make the playoffs. What do you think?
I think I agree with him.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I agree because one, Pittsburgh had the great start of playing all the tougher teams in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the schedule, with the defense playing the way they are, the key is how well will the defense play these next 8-9 games? Because if you think of defensively, you can probably win. You can probably beat the Ravens. You think about what they lost. They lost to the San Francisco 49ers.
Right, by a few
Points. They lost to Seattle
by
a few points. Yep. They lost to the Ravens by 3 points. And you got to realize, without Ben Roethlisberger, without their second team quarterback, so if they can get the second team quarterback back, defense plays at the level they're playing or better, you'll find out that during the winter months, as I stated earlier, you're going to find out that offensive line, James Conner, Samuel, and now you got to throw the new guy in the mix,
Snell.
Uh-huh. So you're going to find out it's going to be low-scoring games, but it's going to be conducive to the style of play that Pittsburgh's used to.
Okay.
And I think
I believe right of me. I don't see it happening because catching up in the division is the only way it's going to happen. We're not going to get a wild card, but hey, you never know. Strange things have happened. So
here, I'm going to make a quote here. Yeah. Call me back. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to agree with Andrew and say the Pittsburgh Steelers will make the playoffs.
You heard it. We'll get back to
You're
him
both
later.
tripping.
Notice we didn't talk to you at all
I
about
know.
that.
I'm skipping
about
not tripping.
that because you're adding up the total deficit of the points here, and if they factor that in when it comes to the playoffs, maybe.
Hey, stop it with the big words, okay? All right, just stop it. All right. Hey, let's get to the rundown, okay? All right, guys.
All
Run
right,
it down.
Okay, we're just gonna go over some of the games, the ones we didn't talk about. Giants blown out by the Patriots. 35-14. There's nothing crazy about that. Nothing we didn't expect. It was their backup quarterback's first loss.
Hey, watch out, New York.
Yeah.
Because Washington's gaining on
Hey,
you.
good learning experience for
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
Where's Eli Manning?
Don't get him started.
I like you, man.
Don't get him
That's my
started.
new best friend.
Don't get him started. Okay.
Me and Pastor's hanging out.
Redskins got their first win of the season over the Dolphins, 17-16. This was the Who Cares Bowl. Somebody's had to go.
Somebody had to win.
Big deal.
Hey, you know what? The Dolphins just wanted it more. And by it, I mean that first overall draft pick.
All right. Ravens beat the Bengals 23-17. Bengals kind of made a game of it in the end. Still 0-6 for Cincinnati. And just to think that the Red Rifle lost to a second-year quarterback. Shameful.
Well, I think this is the indicator. This game right here is the indicator how tight the division is.
Yeah.
And it's up for grabs. Who's gonna be consistent?
Okay. All right. Vikings 38-20 over Eagles. This was a shocker to me. A lot of criticism on Kirk Cousins. Last 2 games he's been playing lights out, but I really thought the Eagles will pull this one out. I mean, to lose by 18. Wow. What's going on with the Eagles?
Hey, Wentz needs somebody to throw to.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
I thought they had a little bit more depth than that, though. But
Not so much. And actually, they have no speed downfield
No
right
deep
now.
threat. Yeah,
No.
'cause
without Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
that
Deshaun
makes-
Watson's out. Yeah, I mean not Watson, but
Yeah, Jackson. Makes
Jackson.
all of the difference in the world when you as far as opening
Hey,
up your
yeah.
offense.
if they don't get somebody to throw to, they're going to remain a 500 team.
Absolutely. I think the problem is their running game is weak. So
Also-
without the speed to open up the offense.
Well, here we go. You
they're-
need to establish the run to open up the
pass. You got to step with the pass
To
to
open
open,
up
up
the
the
run.
run. But seriously though, without that speed threat, they're putting 8 in the box.
Yep.
And it's hard to win football games
Sure.
like that.
I agree.
Okay. Over the Cardinals, 2 weeks in a row, baby. How about Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner, first pick in the draft, 34-33 over the Falcons. I see somebody about to start packing down in Atlanta.
What happened to the Falcons?
I don't know.
Ever since the Super Bowl, they've took. It seems like they've lost the zeal.
Ever since the Super Bowl. I said it
Yeah,
last
when
week.
they lost to the Patriots and Patriots came back,
Yeah.
they haven't been the same.
Haven't been the same team.
No.
Okay, and the Titans, big old goose egg against the Broncos, 16-0. I told my dear son's best friend Ian I would give him a shout out on that. Yeah, Broncos won that game. What do you want? It was the Titans, okay? Mariota got benched. Tannehill came in. He wasn't any good either.
So Tannehill, Mariota, and against Flacco, but 4 interceptions between the 3 of them.
That was a beautiful
No
game.
touchdowns. No touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
All right, and Saints beat the Jags 13-16. Wasn't a high scoring game, but the Saints keep rolling. Teddy B keep asserting himself as the best backup in the game.
His stock's gonna rise straight out the roof after
Teddy
the
B gonna get a
season.
job, baby.
You're making a big deal out of Teddy B in this, and I'm not taking anything away from him because he has, shown he's definitely worth the money that they're giving him right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
But their kicker, Will Lutz, was
Will
the high scorer, right in the
Right.
game. That's where
You're right. I totally agree with you.
7
too.
points from a kicker.
I totally agree with you. But
Who would have thought
in this
in a
situation,
Saints game
it's
that
not
was?
the numbers, it's the letters. He keeps getting the W's.
I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Okay.
And then you got Jaguars. They got a pretty good
Absolutely.
defense.
I mean, Minshew, man.
Yeah,
Man, about
absolutely.
that. Okay, and the last one, 49ers 20, Rams 7. 49ers still undefeated. We talked about them in the other segment. Might be the team to beat the NFC.
I can't get on that 49ers San Francisco trolley right now just yet.
Why you just
Not
a
yet.
hater?
I'm
Your
not.
Cowboys can't win it all,
Hey,
man.
you know what? They don't have a tough schedule for the rest of the way out, so they're going to be there in the end.
Let it
I
go,
just
Coop.
don't think they're that.
You wore a hockey jersey tonight. That in your soul, you know. It's over for
We're
Dallas.
not even talking about the Cowboys. This is Niners.
You know what? Whatever. All right. Hey, let's go on to reality check. And this is when you get a couple minutes and I get a couple minutes.
You get no minutes.
You get no minutes. To kind of rant about what's bothering us in the NFL. Coop, take it away.
Hey, I like this. We get the time, and the pastor has to sit.
Right.
All right,
I'll pray for you.
get your watch out. All right, a couple minutes. Couple church minutes right here. All right.
White
so
church or black church?
I'll go white church time.
Okay.
Save y'all some.
2 minutes.
I just want to say this one time, okay? I'm not going to get into this anymore after this, I promise.
Okay.
All right, and this is not as a disgruntled Cowboys fan. Even though, I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm not disgruntled about this. We're 500. We'll see how everything else shakes out. I'm
You're
not
disgruntled
blaming,
about the McRib going away, but not
I'm
the Cowboys.
disgruntled at their play, but I'm not disgruntled at what I'm ranting here, and I'm referring to the referee situation in the NFL. And there's been so much of this, and we touched on it before. Yeah. This is a little bit different take because, I mentioned that we got hosed by a bad timekeeper when we played the Saints. Okay, in his defense, I looked into it. New Orleans has an analog clock in the booth there, and they've got a millennial timekeeper. So this guy doesn't know the big hand from the second hand, and you know how those kids are. So I'm not going to hold it against him, but I'll tell you, not one to pile on in the officials in any sport. I'm a coach. I'm a volleyball coach, and I make it a point to, really give the refs as much leeway and respect as you possibly can. Okay, but the NFL they've claimed to have gone to great lengths to fix all of this. After last season, they want to reduce errors. All this, it's backfired. Okay, the stoppage of the games that they have, it disrupts the flow. Okay, the replays may help some calls. They help, to define some things that we needed, but not every play. And you don't want it to be every play. You don't want to be able to go review every single thing. And at some point, you have to let the human factor, come into the equation with this. But I got a solution for them. This is the part that I really wanted to say is, listen, NFL, here's what you need to do for this. Fire all the refs. Okay? Toss out the Referee Association Union so that you can implement your own stance on what you want done, what you don't want done. Right? No, seriously, hear me out, because
It sounds good.
if you
I'm with
fire them, you don't have to worry about what the referee association's doing. Now, every single year, you can get rid of the bottom 10% of all of them. Cut the fat. So now you've got incentive for these referees to step up their game, because every single year, the bottom 10 are gone. And it increases the quality of the product that you're putting out there. It'll help the game. It'll help the flow of things. And I guarantee you, if you take that business model and you put them to the test, give them an incentive to do better, you're going to see a better result.
So kind of like the same adage of stop relying on foreign oil, dig our own wells, and we call our own shots.
Something like
I
that.
kinda like
Yeah,
it. Sounds good.
it's
That makes a lot of sense.
It's a Walsh business model that I think
but
will translate very well. But in order to do that, I mean, you're never going to get to do that with that referee
Right.
association. So you're going to have to
Okay.
cut that out. But
Thanks a lot.
there you go,
Coop.
NFL.
All right,
That one's
I
for
like
free.
it. All right, now my rant or my reality check is very specific, and I'm just gonna go a few seconds on it, and I'm gonna let our guests weigh in on it because it relates to Pittsburgh Steelers fans. As I alluded to earlier, I belong to a lot of Steelers groups on Facebook, and there's always talk about fire Tomlin, don't fire Tomlin, whatever. But what I don't like is, and this is can be for all fans, but Steeler Nation, we're something special. Is other Steelers fans just cursing out or ripping into other Steelers fans, calling them every name in the book.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do that. If you disagree with somebody, that's fine, but that doesn't give you just call them every name under the sun. Oh, stupid this, dumb that, whatever. You know what? First of all, I can see where people are coming from. You know, I can see why people will say keep him. I can see why people say fire him. But it's just an opinion. We are the Steeler Nation. Let's not act like other fans, okay? Doesn't give you just cause to just go off on people and belittle them and call them out their name. We're better than that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think too you got to look at the Steeler history. We only have 3 coaches. They're not going to get rid of Tomlin because they understand that when they look for a coach, they look for someone who's going to command attention of the players, who's going to translate into the public eye. It's going to be able to communicate the philosophy of the team, and Tomlin does
Excellent. You mentioned the 3 coaches. One of the things that has made us special. Now you want to use that very thing to get rid of a coach. All right. Hey, thank you. That's our reality check. Brett, nice stuff today, man. All right. So that's almost our show for today. We do have one injury report, and we kind of talked about it earlier. I didn't give the name, but Stephon Tuitt, lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers, out for the season, pectoral muscle. We can't catch a break, Pastor.
I'm sure there were more than one injury.
That's the only one that matters. I said injuries that matter. Okay, but
I can't. I couldn't win when we started this. I'm not going to be able to win when we close this.
all
show,
right. Yeah, well, how
so-
about we get some sponsors out the
All
way?
right, let's do that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do a duel here. We'll do a duel because the House of Restoration has been our sponsor from the beginning. Local Akron Church. You see the number there. Pastor Bertha Butler. Whatever your needs are. Ministry, prayer, visit in a lockup facility. That's what we're there for. And also the new Holiness Church of Christ, which I grew up in. Tell them about the church and where it's located.
We're Holy Church of Christ. We're 1820 South Hawkins Avenue in Akron on the west side. We do kind of the same thing. We have outreach ministry.
Great outreach.
We do every Saturday on the corner of Copley Road in Madison. Free food, prayer. We do that every Saturday, in the winter too as well. So we believe in reaching out outside the 4 walls of the church and become part of the community and be a solution to the problems that we have.
Absolutely. And while you said that, Pastor Bell and I will be part of a pastor's roundtable. One of the reasons the House of Restoration is one of our sponsors, in case I haven't said on air, is I'm actually assistant pastor there, and we're all about people. Now, this show, we don't mention it enough, but this is a local show. We're all about Akron and the surrounding area and taking care of our people. So look for that roundtable coming up. Coop, what you got?
All right, Bad Latitude, custom creations again for all of your apparel, team shop needs. I do have a new item for all of you Steeler fans to check out on the Smack Shop.
Won't quit.
We do have a very nice, terrible towel that you can get. Browns fans might like a little bit better, but Anyways, blccshop.com. Check it out.
All right. Also, don't forget Sit Still Photography, the very best in personal photography. Give me a call. We'd love to fit your needs there as well. And we also have One Drum, One Sound debuting next week. Kids, teaching kids how to play the drums. That's going to be great. All right. It has been awesome. Man, this has been great. We got to do this again.
Oh, it was great. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's my
Love it.
My pleasure.
Now, this show just gets better and better each week, and that's not by accident, Coop. It's because of the people that you don't see a lot. And I want to bring in our director, Remington Cooper, one of our other directors, producers. Don't even try, Jess. Get over here. Don't
And
even
look,
try.
he came prepared for hockey night too
Yes, he
here, right?
Don't ask
Wouldn't be a
people.
football show.
Go ahead and you guys introduce yourselves and tell them who you are. And then, Rem, tell them just about what you've been doing with the show each week. I'll start with the lady.
Yeah, go for it.
My name's Jessica. I'm this one's girlfriend over here.
You didn't have to admit that publicly.
I kept that a secret.
Yeah. And we thank you so much for all your hard work. You made the show so much better.
Trying to help.
Now,
Absolutely.
hey, while we're promoting things, if I may, of course I may. I'm a co-host of the show here, but Jessica is actually a realtor.
Wow, okay. I didn't
we
even
can
know that.
Certainly make some avenues available here to get you a little bit of run here. But if you are in the market, get a hold of us. We'll put you in touch.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
And
Love this
my
girl.
little nephew here, he ain't so little no more. But man, the work you've been doing is outstanding. You want to talk a little bit about it? Rem?
Yeah, we've got 3 cameras that we're running with.
Started with one.
Started with one.
A cell phone.
Yeah, cell phone, and then we went to Mount Union, tried recording with my old phone. That one cut out. We lost 30 minutes of footage there.
Okay,
We got 2
remember.
actual cameras
yes.
now, and the new iPhone 11 Pro. So
That
it
weird.
looks phenomenal now.
Show's growing, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to say. We couldn't do it without you.
Good job.
All
We got
right.
Jess keeping time now too, so we don't go to an hour and a half long show.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of this going on over. You
yeah.
just can't
That's the
see.
real reason we brought her.
All right.
it going.
Hey, thanks a lot, everybody. This is Reality Football with Keith and Coop. I'm Keith.
I'm Coop. Next time.
Next time.